They lied. They all lied. Foamsmithing is a nightmare. Hey guys, it's Alex. This is Learning Curve. Yeah, foamsmithing. Foamsmithing was not easy. Gotta admit. When I watched the videos from Odin Makes or Evil Ted, Punish Prop, name it, I always thought it looked fairly easy. I knew I had to, pick up a few tricks here and there, like how the glue work and stuff like that. But damn, that was brutal. Seriously, that was hard. What you're about to see took me 3 weeks, which is fairly long for someone like me. I tend to like to go from one project to another, and 3 weeks is a long time for one project. But yeah, I totally thought I would nail it in a few days. The first part, the face shield, I thought I would nail in 3 hours. And yeah, I took 17 of those and 5 versions. That was not easy. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but 1 week later and I'm still shocked. So enjoyed. So first I used Evil Ted pattern technique to create the shape and to find out how I'm going to build everything. You can see my sketch on the table. Once I traced everything, I cut everything and then traced it again on cardboard so I can make cleaner patterns, which I then use on foam. And you can see me here creating the face shield part. I curved it before I glued everything together. It helped figuring things out, and it helped in the gluing with a more curved object. Gluing took me a few times to figure out. Here I'm using Lepage glue. I'll change for barge cement a little later. Barge is superior, seriously. But still, my real problem here is I was using too much glue. You need to use very little of it, actually, and then you wait for Lepage was 15 minutes, and barge was 5 minutes for it to dry, and then when you place them together, it stick. I then used, once everything was built up, I used Bondo to clean mostly the seam, but I ended up using it about everywhere just so I could even everything out. But yeah, Bondo, let it dry, sand, let it dry, sand. And I used white glue in between just to put a coating and help put everything together. Then came the painting, first with Plastidip, then silver paint. I then used acrylic paint, but in spray can, just to do the wash very quickly. And then used a dry brush to bring some highlight to the face shield. I was very happy with it. I then used a little bit of the matte I had already washed for the insides of the cheeks. Here I'm using the barge cement it's a very super glue to begin with, and the drying weight is only 5 minutes instead of 15, so yeah, you save a lot of time. While it's drying, I'm already cutting my texture. The mistake I did here was I did not realize when I was curving the foam that I was giving it more surface, actually. So when I glued the texture on it, it was slightly too short. I then use I have so many of those files cardboard files. So really, it's recycling, even if they look new. Um, I use those to create the shape and then use them to pattern the cardboard. But and then I glued everything again using barge cement. And well, that part was fairly easy. Really, the side part, which were the one that was scaring me the most at the beginning, ended up being the easiest one. Probably because it was cardboard, and I'm fairly uh, what's the word? Anyway, I'm used to cardboard. The glue was getting through the texture, but that was not too bad. But it did take some of the shine off uh of the placemat, and then the wash of course took almost everything out, but it still get through the paint. You know, when I dried it, the metallic little filament in the placement were still shiny, but of course everything else was way much darker. uh, oh yeah, masking this thing was so took like forever. Then plastic dip and chrome paint, well, not chrome but metallic paint, took out the masking, and it looks so good like that. Again, using those cardboard files to create the shape for my blade. The blade was not easy to figure out, but yeah, well, it was easy. I knew what I was doing. For some reason, this came very natural to me, but it was a very long process. I had to start again a few times, and then once that part was done, I had to take it out, do it on a very, very thick cardboard, and use that cardboard to create the patterns for the foam part. The very thick cardboard I used was because at first I thought I would use it as a structure inside the blades, but then for some reason my pattern weren't fitting anymore, and in the end the foam was so thick it was keeping its shape by itself, so I didn't have to use it. The only part you can see the old version of the blade on top. The bottom was very, very thick because at first I was using only foam, but then I ended up doing just the underside in cardboard and using form to do the little triangle only instead of the old underside of the blade. You can see me assembling the final piece. And then again, Bondo, because my seams were horrible, to be honest with you. But Bondo allow me to shape it back perfectly. Why Bondo and not Quick Seal? Well, because I can sand Bondo and give it a shape. Well, Quick Seal is silicone, really, so you can't really sand it. You can Dremel it, I guess, like you can Dremel foam, but sandpaper won't do it. Paint with plastic, paint with a silver paint, but I used the dry brush technique for the blade, and it looked so shiny. Gluing a piece of board inside the blade so I can then glue the blade on top of the helmet, and that is it. Ta-da! My shredder helmet, and damn am I happy with it. I made this like a week ago, and I still look at it every fucking day. I'm really pleased with it. The blade is slightly crooked, but I only realized that yesterday, so that must not be too bad. I would like to fix it, but it's fairly glued there, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. But I guess for the time being, it's gonna stay like this. the fins here, I was not too sure about the cardboard, but I was really hoping the technique would work. And it did. It keep its shape perfectly. I took the technique, I think, from Komi Cosplay. She did something similar with a foam not so long ago. I was not thinking about it when I did it, but yeah, that's where it came from. So, and the texture here is just beautiful, and it's placemat from Walmart, $3 each. When I saw them on a shelf in the store, and I grabbed them. I had no idea what I was going to do with it, but I wanted them to build something, and I ended up doing the texture on the side. The shine does go through the wash, not as shiny obviously, but it's still there. And well, I just like how it looks, seriously. The face shield, I love this thing so much. This was the 5th version. Version 1 to 4 looked like this. There's probably gonna be a bonus video, something like that, with this one. Anyway, and well, it took me 4 tries to get to this, and then realized it just wasn't fitting the character. It just looked like a BMX protection or something like that, so I decided to go with something sleeker, and I love it. I love the slightly, what's the word? Stylized. Okay. I love the slightly stylized crane shape here. The only thing I would change if I was to do it again is I would bring it more up front. Because once you put the helmet on top of it, you lose that feature. But other than that, I'm pretty pleased with it. You still see the pattern inside here. And yeah, the metallic texture here is less shiny than on a blade. The reason is simple. This one I used a wash over metallic paint, so of course I added grime on top of the paint. So I put some glossy varnish in the end, and well, so there's still a shine and it still look beautiful, but it's not as shiny as the blade was. The blade, I used the dry brushing technique, so the blade was black, and I used the brush to add the shininess. So the shininess is more natural on a blade than it is on the face shield, but otherwise it still look beautiful, I think. I'm just in love with this thing right now. I tried the dry brushing technique on the face shield first, but the brush I was using, the hair were just too long, and they would clump together and leave really obvious streak marks on a face shield. So that's why I ended up spray painting it silver and then doing a wash over it. But I really wanted to try this technique, so when it came to the blade, I used a better brush, and well, I'm just really pleased with the result here. So yeah, this is it. This is my shredder helmet. If you like the video, please share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, blah 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 blah, you know the drill. Share is especially important for me because I'd like to get to a point where I can at least change the thumbnails on my videos. So please share. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Special thanks to Camus Cosplay, Punish Prop Academy, and Evil Ted, from whom I'm stealing a few techniques here and there, as well as Odin Habot from Odin Makes, whom a video first of all introduced me to foamsmithing and inspired me to start my own show.